I'm swinging big, huh?
Hey, you know what? And the second we started talking, I was like, oh my God, like we have got to go live. And for anybody watching, please, support her, support your girl on that YouTube channel because I have no doubt that she's going to be asked a lot more. Um,
I
will
appreciate
you
that.
please tell everybody who you are and just start your story? Why breaking generational chains? Why are we going there?
Okay, so first off, I'm Carmie, owner of Carmie Hawk Fitness, um, mom, wife. I have two sassy little girls. And a little bit about me, my backstory. I grew up as a dancer. So growing up, I never really had to worry about body image, diet, nutrition because I was so active that it was natural for me, so it wasn't an issue. It wasn't until I had to put my big girl pants on and actually be an adult because mom and dad basically said, hey, we put you in this, we know it's your dream to be a dancer, but culturally wise, because I grew up in a very typical Filipino household, can't pursue those dreams. You got to go pursue being a doctor or a nurse or something like that. So that's when things started to change for me because now I'm less active. I'm now living college life and I'm just putting it all on. And so now I'm trying to have to figure it out. And ultimately, what is the first thing that you do when you try to figure it out? You try to model the behavior that you saw, right? I'm 39, so a lot of the women that resonate with me, we all grew up with the same culture where we watched our moms, whether it was Weight Watchers, fad diets, just not eating, being in the gym, lifting weights was taboo. So I had to figure it out all by myself and see what worked for me. And unfortunately, our generation, we were not taught how to do this lifestyle. We were taught eat less, do more, and eventually it'll work itself out. And that's absolutely not the case. And unfortunately, us women, and nothing against men, but us women, we have the cards stacked against us because society's standards on what we're supposed to do, be, and look like is so ridiculous and unrealistic. And it honestly, it burns me to the core because now I'm raising two little girls. And if I told you I'm emotional,
Get emotional.
um,
It's real. This is
when
emotional.
I when I look back to my journey and I understand just how destructive I got to try to be socially accepted, to feel beautiful and to feel valuable and worthy, it really hurts me. And so ultimately, my mission is to help create a new generation that will walk into their adulthood knowing their value and their worth. And the only way they're going to do that is through us. We have to model that behavior. So if we as parents don't know how to value ourselves, how to live this lifestyle, then how can we expect our children to do that? Because imagine a generation that's going to now enter into the world where they feel valuable, they know how to live a healthy lifestyle, and they know the difference between what is reality and what is fiction. Because social media is not going away. It's not. And it's gotten worse. It was not as like, it wasn't as apparent when I was growing up. It was just coming about. So the comparison thing was always there, but now it's just so in your face. And I see it already amongst my little girls, 10 and 7. And so it is my mission to make sure that they understand that you have to understand the difference between what is real and what is not, because social media is nothing but a highlight reel. It's a bunch of fakes and frauds. Sorry, I'm gonna go there because I mean, I watch Goop. He does nothing but call people out, and it's honestly it's disheartening, because like let's just show up unapologetically as ourselves. What is wrong with that? I mean, we bring something to the table, each and every one of us. And if you just learn how to value yourself and understand the power that you have within yourself, life is going to be a lot more manageable. Living this lifestyle will be so much more easy. You're going to be less likely to quit because you know what you bring to the table. So that's me in a nutshell. That's the hill I will die on.
Girl, I'm gonna fight to defend that hill till the day I die with you.
I appreciate that.
Yes. And I know you've looked a little into my stuff too. It's very different. But as a recovered alcoholic drug addict that tried to kill himself, like people need to understand, like, that they matter
Yes.
and that you're not alone. And no, I'm not a female. No, I don't know what it feels like to be one. And honestly, I like, to your point, I'm glad. Like, there's way different things. There's different pressures. But the beautiful thing is we can support one another
Yes,
if we're open,
absolutely.
if we're authentic. And most of social media is fake. It's fraud. Matter of fact, my post I just did, like, nobody looks like an Instagram model when they're working
I
out.
saw
We're like,
that. I saw that. It's
like,
true.
come on, man.
I said that before. If you're looking pretty when you're lifting, you're not doing it right.
Right.
Honestly.
No, no, no. I seriously look like I'm having a seizure and I'm like half T-Rex. I'm like, like, what are you doing? Like,
Seriously.
but the point is, and I'm going to ask you so many more things because I really want to hear like how it served you, like the old versus the new. Because let's be real, everybody does things because they serve them, but it doesn't mean they always need to serve them,
Mm-hmm.
or that they serve who they want to become. Um, so, with that being said, those things that you let go. You got me emotional for a second. You really did. Because it's so beautiful. Let's back up. Let me go a different route. As a mom,
Okay.
as a
Okay.
mom, so often with the women, because actually I work with a lot of women, age is about 40 to 55, which is I take that very special. And it's a huge honor as a man to be trusted in that capacity.
Absolutely.
Um, Often we hear parents say, like, I would die for my kids. But then we watch the way they raise them with those horrible habits and with all the screen time and with just the really bad food choices and constant eating out. And it's like, but you're killing them slowly. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that's harsh, and I understand that. But in my state of South Carolina, 1 in 3 children by the age of 12 will be pre-diabetic. So how are you managing in a world that's fighting against you, in a world of social media and fast food and all these things? Are you managing to lead by example?
Honestly, I always keep dialogue open with my kids. I'm very careful about how I speak about food, how I speak about myself, because again, that is all learned behavior. I mean, I heard something so powerful about, a little girl watching her mom get on the scale and, basically her moods were dependent on how the scale went one day from the other. Scale was down, mom was happy. Scale was up, mom, it was a clusterfuck for the rest of the day, right? And so that resonated with me because it's true. Our children are sponges. They are a reflection of us. I mean, I have a 10-year-old who's already starting to be hormonal and I already see it. Like, like I muttered under my voice. My husband's on right now, and like honestly, he laughed. I said, "Oh my gosh, she's little me. She is little me." And honestly, the best thing that I can do for myself is just keep them educated and keep things in the most like educated and positive manner possible. Because let's be honest, when we grew up, when were taught a nutrition label, it was in a negative way, right? Like, oh my God, that's bad. Oh my God, no carbs. Oh my God, right? So with my children, I'm very open about macros and when I'm in dieting phase and explaining to them I'm only in a dieting phase for a short period of time because I have a specific goal. So for example, I'll throw an example out there for you. We went to In-N-Out because we go to In-N-Outs. We are realistic in our home. Everything within moderation. We are not crazy like extremists. My kids know about balance. If they want the donut, they can have the donut, but they understand that it has to be paired with a protein source. And at 10 and 7, they understand that already. My husband can't wait for episode number 2. So we teach them balance. We don't instill those food fears in them. We just instill, like, you need to understand the purpose of the food, and you need to understand balance with the food. So we went to In-N-Out, back to that story. And right now my husband and I are in a diet phase because we're trying, we want to look good for Vegas. Vanity. I am vain sometimes, sorry. Guilty. But normally when I'm not in a diet phase, I go to In-N-Out and I get the 3x2 with the bun and the fries. This time around we went and I got it protein style wrapped in lettuce. And my daughter, my 10-year-old, asked why. And I said, well, because baby, I want the fries. So with that, I had to sacrifice the bun because of my goals right now. I said, if I wasn't in a diet phase, I could have it all. But because mommy is in a specific phase for specific goals, I have to sacrifice one or the other. But on a normal circumstance, I can have it all, and that's okay. So I make it very clear. So that way there's an understanding, like, mommy's not afraid of the bun. It's just, it's not aligning with mommy's goals in this moment.
Love that. Love so many of those things. Each one of those is like its own episode, like truly. Um, because it was, especially again for women, I have to acknowledge that. This is good, this is bad. And in today's society, this is toxic, this is poison.
Yeah.
For anybody listening, for any of your followers listening, this is a personal view of mine. When you hear somebody start spouting off things that are toxic, the odds are the only thing toxic there is the person that's spouting it.
Or there's an ulterior motive behind it.
So or like right? So
And yeah, exactly.
um right? Like and anybody that speaks in absolutes, like no, there's always context. To that end, your children aren't learning good or bad. They're learning that it serves a
Mhm.
purpose. Now, so how is that helping them? I'm very interested to hear how that's helping. I believe you said, what are their names, by the way? Because that matters.
Kalia and Camden.
Kali, Kalia?
Oh, Kalia and Camden.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's to the 10 and 7. Kalia's 10 and Camden's
Camden
7.
7, yes.
Okay. How is that helping them? Like, are they making educated choices, or do they do what most of us would do at 7 and just like take a bag of Cheetos and dump it in their face all the time? How?
No, it absolutely helps them because it's already teaching them moderation. It's teaching them portion control, and not to like an extreme. So, I mean, I don't need the crunchy moms to come after me and be like, oh my gosh, she's already like putting all these rules and regulations on her kids. No, it's just my kids understand. So if they had, let's say they had a sugary treat with their breakfast, like a muffin or a pastry or a donut, they know we're capping them for the rest of the day. Like, don't be asking me for like cookies, candy, and ice cream for the rest of the day, because they understand, like, hey, we need to make sure that we control this in a manner that suits us because our body needs to feel good. Like, we need to make sure our body gets everything it needs. And they already understand the concept of protein. I'm like, hey, like, because my 110-year-old, she's a typical kid. If she could live off of chicken nuggets, pizza, and not even sandwiches, but just pizza and chicken nuggets, like, that's what she wants. But I'm like, yo, we got to balance that out a little, sister. Like, come on. So they know, like, all right, mom, can I have some broccoli with my pizza? So it's just giving them an understanding that you can have that, but let's pair it with something to round it out and not just shove all the things in our face. Because honestly, that's the education I lacked growing up. I love my parents to death, but unfortunately, they had a kid just because they thought it was what they were supposed to do. So I was left to figure a lot of things out. Um, they were the type of parents that just, they gave me things, like physical things to show love, but not really the nurturing type. Where that's why sometimes my mom looks at me sideways, because I'm very mama bear. My pull to like that maternal instinct is so strong, it weirds her out some days, because she's like, who are you? Because she does not relate to that in any way, shape, or form. So I lost my train of thought. But my kids, they just understand. They understand that this has to be a lifestyle for you. You have to create that balance.
Wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly agree. And like when I'm teaching, if I may share, because I want this primarily to be you, but if I may share for any of the people listening, one of the ways that I teach parents to communicate foods to their children is like, hey, we're going to have, let's say, this salmon because it's full of healthy fats. They're going to help our brain work better.
Mhm.
And it's going to give us protein so that we grow big and strong, so we develop right. We're going to have this vegetable so our tummy works better. And so we poop good. And it makes them chuckle, right? Because you want to poop, right? Yeah, I want to poop. And we're going to have these carbs over here so we have energy and we can focus and we can do great in school and you have the energy to go play. And you know what? Sometimes we're going to have this ice cream too. But if we eat it too much, we're probably not going to feel very good, are we? There's no negative there. It's all just here you go. And and that's just a very simple way. And there's no vilification. There's
Mm-mm.
none of that. And it's empowering. And I think
Mhm.
that's the key word here is to be empowered.
Yeah.
So what did it take for you to finally, let's go back to your journey, because this is breaking generational chains. You broke them. What did it take for you to break those old hard, fast, starvation, cardio yourself to death, all of those things? What did it take for you to break those chains? And then how did it empower you?
To be honest with you, it burnout, absolute burnout, and being fucking fed up because finally understood like this. There has got to be something more than this. This cannot be the fucking end all be all for me. Like because if this is it for me, like I'm fucking done. And I understand now why people give up because it's so frustrating. You're in this constant loop where you're like, fuck, are we done yet? And well, the answer is no. But honestly, what got me to my breaking point was just being fed up. So backstory, 2020 is when I really started my journey because I mean, I had my first kid, I think at 29, had postpartum, didn't really know I had postpartum and wasn't diagnosed. My husband and I, we weren't married yet, but going through a rough patch. So I just attributed it to just it being rough because I'm a new mom. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm insecure about myself because now I'm a new mom. Didn't even think it was postpartum. Then try to get back in the gym. Same old cycle, right? Then got pregnant with baby number 2 3 years later, and then now I'm diagnosed with postpartum. So then I'm trying to figure it out, trying to get back in the gym. And I grew up in that um again, that genre or generation where it was like, just go do more cardio on the treadmill. Okay, that's why I have a chip on my shoulder about cardio. If you try to tell me to do cardio, I'm gonna, yeah, no, I'm gonna look at you sideways and be like, you can kiss something. um so trying to figure it out all on my own. And then flash forward to 2019, mom has bilateral breast cancer. So now I am in caretaker mode, trying to hold down a household, my own household with 2 kids and a husband, or not even a husband yet, with my fiance, and then make sure mom's good. And then find out that I also carry the same gene that she has. So now my predisposition for cancer is way higher. Uh oh. Did I lose you or am I good?
We're good.
Okay. Um, so now, flash forward to then 2019, I'm looking at myself in the mirror going, oh my gosh, what happened? But then I'm like, okay, whatever. It's fine. We're good. Everybody's good. Everybody's fine. I go to the Philippines in 2020, and the first thing, I don't know if you've ever been to an Asian country, but they don't hesitate to tell you when you're fat.
No, they do not. No, they do not.
I hadn't seen my family in over a decade, maybe more than that. And the first thing was, oh, hi. Oh, you got big. Oh, hi. Thanks. No shit. Thank you. I was busy trying to figure out my shit and be a mom and all the things. So come back. Husband and I decide we're finally going to get married. And so that's where the journey started was, oh, fuck. Because what? We're always reactive versus proactive, right? That's the
Oh,
problem.
what? No, no.
So now I'm reactive because I forgot to be proactive. Because yeah, that's a thing, guys. You got to be proactive, not reactive. And I'm like, fuck. It's January. My wedding is in July. Then I have what? I'm going to say it loud, unrealistic expectations. No, gasp, right? Imagine that. I said, I'm going to lose 25 to 30 pounds by July, by my wedding, 7/11/2020. Starting in March. I started in March. Come on. You and I both know. Yeah, do the math. I'll wait.
I'm bad at math. Like,
You don't have to be good at math to understand that that was probably the dumbest thing I could ever. But honestly, I'm sorry if this triggers you because you set that same kind of goal, but that's probably the dumbest thing you can do for yourself. Because if you already don't value yourself and don't feel yourself worthy, that's going to just send you through a shit spiral even more. Bet. Telling you. Come talk to me in my DMs if you want to like argue that back and forth because I'll let you know.
no,
That ain't the
I'm
business.
with you. You said several things there. One, and it's one of the first things I do with my clients is manage expectations. Manage expectations. And it's so crucial. So many coaches don't do it. Very few
Mm-mm.
people do it.
No,
Um,
because they
and
just want
it's
to make
like,
a buck off of you. They don't care. They honestly don't
mm-mm,
care about helping you or changing your
no,
life.
no. And it's like, just even recently, a client of mine had not had progress in um, 9 years. 9 years. I'm her seventh coach. And so I did the math and I was like, okay, and you've seen this progress in 45 days, with the list of non-scale victories is about this big, which is the whole, like, way more important.
Which people don't
But it's,
even realize that that's huge.
well, it's bigger because that's how we sustain. But in the process, it's like a total of 12 inches lost, right? Like, it's insane. Like, while running a business and a mom of three and traveling every week, like, I'm like, oh my God, you're a rock star. I'm in awe of you. I don't know how you do this. Like, I do want to say this, and I mean it fully. Moms are freaking superheroes. Like, every mom that I work with, I'm like, I don't understand how you do this. Like, I killed a cactus. How are you, like, how is this possible? So it's managing
Yeah.
expectations and being realistic and understanding that, like, okay, is what you're saying realistic? And what are you willing to do?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the question that most people miss. I want this. What are you willing? Are you willing to do what it takes?
And most
So,
of them will say yes, but they're not.
no,
They're absolutely not. And if
no,
you're not, that's okay. But just manage your expectations accordingly.
right.
Because that's, I mean, that leads me to the whole thing about like what you see and who you compare to. I mean, the people that we run with all the time say it like, stop. If you're in your 30s, stop following the 20-year-old fitfluencers. They are not serving you. They have no kids. They have no life. They probably live at home. They probably have very little bills to worry about. Life has not fucking like hit them yet. Like, let's be honest. Like, stop. I got called out by somebody like, how come you unfollowed me? Okay, listen, I am responsible for what I absorb on my page. So if I'm seeing the same old shit on my page, MLMs, people trying to sell me dumb shit that I don't need, I am going to politely just go ahead and take you off because I have to cultivate what I absorb. So if I get a visceral reaction for every MLM product you're trying to sell on my page because I follow you, I'm going to take you off because I'm going to cultivate a page that serves me, that serves my mental, that serves my emotional, and that serves my nutrition and coaching side, which is all I see now. So if you feel a type of way about that, sorry, not sorry, but you're not responsible for how I feel and my reactions to things. I have to protect that. And that's just it.
No, keep going, girl. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, I feel like I'm in church. Like, no, keep preaching.
Well,
Keep doing it.
it's true. It's honest. It's really true because people. I saw something, and we'll go back to like also my breaking point too. But people are so easily triggered by things, and it's because you're unhealed, because you're not willing to do the work. And I can honestly say that with so much confidence as somebody who has done the work. And it was fucking shitty and it was hard and it was rough, but you know, I came out on the other end a better person. And now I'm somebody that I am proud to have my daughters watch, because now they see me. And I'm, you know, honestly, like my parents, again, you know, I love and appreciate them, but I learned a lot of what I don't want to be like as a parent. And honestly, no offense to them, but I want my daughters to be like my mom was like that. I want to be like that. Not, I don't want to be like that.
It's something I use with my clients a lot. They're like, my weekend was a mess. My childhood was a mess. Well, did you learn? Yes. Then it was a messin. Let's call it a messin. Like a lesson from a mess, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
trials into testimonies, like all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that so much. Like there's always the lessons you learned in your fitness and nutrition, even though they weren't serving you, like that wasn't your fault. With that said, it's still our responsibility to fix it. Like there's always going to be things in life that aren't our fault, but it is our responsibility to handle it.
Yeah.
And that may be triggering for people. And I'm such a goofball. Whatever anybody wants to call me, every time I get triggered, I actually get excited and actually start clapping like a seal. Like it's ridiculous. Like, yay! Why? Because that's me. Because it's something I haven't healed yet. And every time I get triggered, I go, neat, I have something new I get to work on.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is that?
But see, you have that mentality where you know that you have to be constantly evolving. Like you're not done. The work, there always has to be work, because that's also where I am in my life right now. Is that I know that I'm a work in progress. I am a human, I am a flawed being, but I just have to continue on this path of evolution and growth, because you can't stop. There's always room for progress. You can't ever think you're done.
100%. Now let's take that over back to fitness. Let's
Okay.
go back. Right?
So going back to
Well,
fitness, my
no,
breaking point.
real quick. How about this one?
Okay.
For your clients and for yourself, let's use that. Let's just go off on a tangent. Like it's whatever. Pounds. Let me go ahead and let you guys know something. No, you're not. Because every time we get to a new goal, there's a new one on the other side. So let's go back to the wedding. Did you lose that weight? How did you feel afterwards? What? And then how did that go? I want to know this story. Like I'm tuning in. I need a paid sponsor now, like for a commercial break. So we can.
No, so I lost some weight. I mean, I was happy with myself because I saw changes. And, you know, I went from couch to being active. So ultimately, like, I made a lifestyle change. So, yes, I was moving in a positive direction, but I did not lose the weight. But I wasn't down on myself because I lost some weight. I took some progress. I moved the needle forward a little bit. And I said, oh, because now I'm feeling good about myself because I stayed what? Consistent. I didn't give up. Now, granted, I didn't give up because I did have something dangling over my head that kept me motivated, right? Whereas some people don't. Because we know it with clients when there's something like a date set, it keeps them a little bit more motivated versus like just, okay, I need to do this for my life. So I was feeling good. I kept the momentum going for about another, I don't know, like 6 months. But at that point, I got extreme because I do have a history with addiction. I do have my history where that's where I say I got destructive, because I got so destructive where to the point where I turned to substance abuse to try to be skinny. And it worked till it didn't, until I just became like a dumpster fire. That's another episode for another day. But so now I am doing 2-a-days. I am doing what I think is weightlifting, but it's weightlifting with cardio 2 times a day, 7 days a week. I know. Put the freaking clown sticker on my face. I know, Matt. I know.
No,
But again,
it's just that I did that because it hurts my heart because so many ladies that I talk to get
because
stuck
that's
in
all
that
we
trap
know.
and it
It's
breaks my
all we
heart.
know. It's literally all we know, because it's also all we see. Because if you're on the wrong side of the fitness algorithm, that's all you fucking see is women say, do this spot, reduce that. And I'm like, fuck all of you, go away. Honestly, because if you're on the wrong side of the health and fitness algorithm on Instagram, it will really mentally fuck you up. And that's what I really need women to understand is people who are going to help you will help you out of the kindness of their heart because they want to see you live a better life. Like no strings attached. Do we want to sign you as a client? Absolutely. But I have time and time again helped people just because I want to see them get out of the loop and off the hamster wheel, because I want you to feel what I feel. So now I'm doing all the things, and then now hits the burnout where I'm like, fuck, I'm eating 1,200 calories a day every single fucking day, like religiously, like I was on top of my game. And I got skinny. Yes, absolutely I did. But I was miserable, Matt, fucking miserable. I'm moody with everybody. I hate everybody because I'm hungry. I'm hungry and I'm tired because nobody should be doing that to their body. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. That's ridiculous, especially an everyday person, an everyday mom who is trying to just live her life and do it well and do it gracefully. Nobody should be putting themselves through that at all, period. So then I was like, there's got to be more, dude. There's got to be more. Now I'm starting to question. Now I'm using my critical thinking skills saying, this can't be it. This can't be the answer. There's no way. Find, she's actually presenting at the conference this week. Amber Brusicki, Biceps After Babies, found her, joined her boot camp, and learned about macros. And I was like, oh. And then now I'm starting to take myself through reverse, and now I'm learning about strength training, and that's where the shift happened. Where I was like, oh, because let me tell you about me. I was the mom where I would strategically hide myself behind my kids, hide my arms, hide all of my like things that I was, insecure about. That was me in the pictures, or I just would be non-existent in the pictures because I just couldn't fathom how I looked. I couldn't stand it. Would purposely try to get out of social functions because the thought of having to get ready and go into my closet and try to put something on that made me feel good and empowered was absolutely, and I told you this, debilitating. Like I hated it. Like I would just end up in the corner in tears because I just hated it. I hated it. I would hide in my clothes. I would wear baggy clothes because I'm thinking I'm hiding, but it made me feel worse. They made me feel bigger. Then you put the tight stuff on, and then all your imperfections show up, and you're like, I just hate everything, and I'm like, I give up. I give up, I'm done. So that's where I was at with my life, and I was like, okay, there's got to be more to this. And then now, here I am 4 years later, fucking empowered like a motherfucker, honestly. Like, I can confidently walk into my closet, pick a fucking outfit, and be like, I'm good. Let's go. Like, yes, absolutely. Like, and that's why I'm so strong about this, because when I hear moms talk, sometimes it stirs a little something in my soul because I want to shake them. Now I understand you can't save everybody, and you can't make people change if they're not willing to change. But like when I hear them talk, I'm like, I see you. I see you. And I see you because I used to be you. And I want you to know this is not it for you. There's more to this for you. And it's not just about the outside appearance. If you start to empower yourself, live your life for yourself, and live a healthy lifestyle and stay consistent with this and stop worrying about the aesthetics and just learn how to train, learn how to eat, it will all fall into fucking place for you. You just have to keep going. How many of us women do it for 2 weeks, don't see anything happen, and we're like, fuck it, I'm done, I give up? Because you're so impatient. You want the instant gratification. Well, guess what, sister? This is not something where you're going to get that instant gratification. It's all about delayed gratification. And I promise you, when you get to that part of it, it's so fucking worth it. It's so fucking worth it. Like, honestly, like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, hey, sister, high five. Where before I was like, oh my God, I can't. I just can't. And I mean, how much more do I have to like prove to you guys that this is, what more do I have to say to tell you and convince you that this is what you need to do? This is the lifestyle that you need to live. Because once you start working on everything, everything else is going to fall into place. Because honestly, I started with the aesthetics, then I realized I had to heal this and this too. But I am on the other side of it, but still evolving and still working on myself. But it's honestly, I have a smile on my face because I'm just like, man, looking back at myself, like, that was hard. That was hard to watch. It was hard to go back and think about all the things that I did, my feelings of inadequacy, to now where I am today. And I just honestly hope that one day when my kids are older, they never have those feelings of inadequacy. I know they're always going to like maybe question themselves because that's natural. It's human nature, right? But I hope that I empower them enough as young ladies when they're older that they're like, nah, I'm good. Mom taught us. Like, I'm a fucking badass. I'm cool. Like, honestly, like, if I if they do that one day when they're older, I will fucking die a happy person. Like, that's honestly, like, that's my ultimate goal. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Girl, you see me tearing up over here? Like, are you kidding me? Like, give me 1 second. Like, now my eyes are all red. Screw you. No, that's that is, it's so beautiful and so powerful. And to everything you just said, yes, yes. Um, yeah. And I don't need to be a woman to understand that. We all have our own side. We all have our own struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the man that's watched the female he's with deal with that. And not that it's the same, but we do have our things. And again, to sum up everything you just said, you're worth it. You're worth more.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why people don't feel like they're worth more, because with enough proof, and you hear me say this all the time, there's too much proof to the contrary that you'll never succeed. There's too much proof to the contrary that you're not worth it. There's too much proof to the contrary that you won't be fit, healthy, and what's the missing word? Happy. So let's start building proof. And you built proof. You didn't hit that number goal by your wedding. But it's like you got married and divorced. You got married to a new person and divorced to your old self with that identity in the same time, and that's freaking
Yeah.
rad. It's like, that's so cool. I actually just had one of my rock stars sign on for a second. Single mom, 3 kids, 2 kids in after school sports, very little help from the other side. Was working out 6 days a week at Burn Boot Camp, cardio, looked good, but was stuck. Bumped it
Mm-hmm.
back to 4 days of lifting, 1 day of light card, like I'm talking zone 2, 15 minutes.
That's like me.
I guess that's it. And for any men out there that don't want to do cardio, like 15 minutes, guys, 2 to 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all the motivation men need if you get any male clients for this one. It makes your PP work better, guys. Just there. That's all we need. We're like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Fast.
So fast. If that's the only thing that'll get us to do something faster than here's free NFL tickets. Like, that's it. So, like, but she was doing it, and then we bumped it back to 4 days of 3 days of heavy lifting, 2 days of light cardio, then 4 days of lifting, 2 days. This woman, like, her body transformed in like 3 months.
Because it's all we need. Honestly, we were so conditioned to be told more, 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 more. But in this situation, what I'm realizing, less is more. Right? Say what? I know. Yes, less is more. I am down to 4 days of strength training. Well, because I'm in a cut right now, I do two 20-minute cardio sessions, zone 2. That's it. And then I up my steps. That's it. When I tell people that, they're like, yeah, right. You're full of shit. And I'm like, bet, watch me. Because that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Once you start transforming your body, and ladies, you need to understand you have to recomp your body. You have to lift the weights, and I'm not talking about the pink baby weights, okay? Let's stop with the bullshit. Please. I'm sorry. Okay? Don't be afraid to lift the heavy weights. We're so conditioned to like, oh, don't lift weights because you're gonna look manly. When? When? Because in 4 years I have yet to look manly. I'm pretty sure I look pretty femme. I mean, prove me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, this is the first time in my whole entire 39 years of existence that I actually appreciate my body. I am not hiding my body, my arms, I mean, I still have like my insecurities with my stomach, but that's just because it's mom life. But I've accepted it. It is what it is because you know what? At the end of the day, that don't mean shit about me. Like what matters is me. Like it doesn't matter about my mom pooch. But my arms, I'm like, okay, girl. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a Grecian goddess now. Thanks, bye. Like I don't hide my arms. I am so like honestly, I'm like, I'm just gonna show them off. I'm gonna wear like a cami and just show off like my triceps and my delts. So I'm like, okay. But honestly, like these ladies are like, I want to look like J Lo. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to strength train. Because the Pilates, no offense to Pilates, if you're down with Pilates, cool. Pilates has its time and its place. But if you're wanting to look toned and defined, you gotta lift the fucking weights. Stop it. Please do everybody a favor and go figure out how to strength train. I mean, honestly, I have this boot camp that I'm basically selling my left kidney for that's teaching people the basics because I just want to see women win. I want you to learn the basics, understand the basics, and how to take this and apply it to your daily life. Because that's what we need. We need women that will teach you how to do this, not women that are like, hey, spot reduce here. Hey, spot reduce here. Hey, get rid of your fupa. Fuck you and get your fupa, okay? Because you need to go to whatever hell you came from with your spot reducing the fupa. I'm tired of it. Honestly, I'm so tired of it.
It's so gross. Like it's not a carpet cleaner, okay? It's like if you want to spot reduce, go get a carpet cleaner and work on your floors. Like that's it. Like that's it's you can take three people that look all the same and they're all gonna lose weight in different places. Like it all boils down to a calorie deficit. It does boil down to that. Um, there are mitigating factors that may make it more difficult to be into a caloric deficit. But at some point, to reiterate your point, you can't slash your calories any further.
No,
You gotta gain that muscle so you can eat something and live a long, happy, healthy life.
I mean, I'm
You're
surrounded
not.
by, I also am an x-ray tech. So I'm surrounded by like this culture of women who just want to yo-yo diet all day long and go on Optavia and eat lettuce all day. And they wonder why they see some results and then balloon back up, but then snub their nose to me and my lifestyle. And I'm like, well, has, who has it figured out? It's me, not you, because I'm not in the loop. So, I mean, it's a vicious cycle, and I really just want to see women get out of it and understand there's more to that. You
I
just
do
have to
too.
be able, you just
Yes,
have to believe in yourself and be consistent.
yes, because y'all are worth it. Like as a confident, like successful male, whatever, I want to see y'all win. Like I really do from the bottom of my heart. Like this is straight up. Women are better at like 98% of everything than men. Like legitimately, y'all are better. Like somebody's gonna call me sexist here, but I'm like the only things we're typically better at typically is like if you and I go deadlifts for a year, I'm probably still gonna be stronger. Probably in most cases.
But as
And the
you
other
should, though.
one,
You should.
right?
You're the man,
And the other
as
one
you
is this.
should.
Watch this. Tell me to think about nothing.
Think about nothing, Matt.
Okay. Nothing.
Meanwhile, it's impossible for us women to do that.
Yeah.
Like we
That's the
cannot turn
only
it off.
two things we're better at. That's it. But that's what, like, why we need each other. Like, it's okay. Like, there's going to be some women that resonate with you. There's some that resonate with me. And there's some we may need to get on a group call.
Right.
You don't know. Like,
But that's
what does
okay.
it matter?
That's okay. That's the lovely part about this is when you become on the right side of the health and fitness industry, like the side that we're on, we know that there is somebody for everybody. So if you don't resonate with me, but you like what I'm preaching, well, hey, my friend Matt, why don't you go talk to my friend Matt? Why don't you go talk to my friend Lauren? Why don't you go talk to my friend Jimmy? Why don't you go talk to my friend Aaron? We know enough people where we can outsource, where if I'm not your cup of tea because maybe I curse too much, or because something about me offends you, cool, well, but you like what I offer, okay, well, guess what, this same person is preaching the same thing, maybe they're your cup of tea, because at the end of the day it is about just changing lives,
It's like,
and that's what
maybe
people.
you want oolong, I want Earl Grey. Like, it's like, whatever. So I love that. And it is a cooperation, not a competition.
Because we have to work together to create this movement to end the cycle, and it's going to start with us being loud enough to create that movement and to drown out the noise of the shitfluencers, because they're loud because they have money and they pay for sponsors, they pay for the ads, and ours get drowned out. But all we can do is just keep getting more people to join on, to be part of the collective, and eventually people will catch on. And then also too, to that point, is also create that generation, so where we heal parents, so that now the next generation comes up being knowledgeable and empowered. So that's another way that we're going to also end the cycle and become part of a bigger picture.
Planting seeds, planting seeds and watching them grow. And it's so good. It's so good. And whoever Miss January is, like, I appreciate you very much.
She's
Like, I
amazing.
love, you're
she's
so
um
good.
she's amazing. She's found this side of the fitness industry, and I'm so fucking proud of her. I'm so fucking proud of her because
Me too. And I
she's
don't even
in
know
it.
you.
She's amazing, honestly.
I
She's
can tell. Like, I truly can. You're like, I don't know how your energy is coming through text messages that aren't even to me, but I can tell, and it's amazing. Um, so, question, to sum it up very quickly, at the end, if there's one message that you can send to the ladies that are going to watch this from here until eternity, what is it?
Whew, you're
No
enough.
pressure.
You're enough. You are valuable. There is more to this life than your outer appearance. Heal your insides and do the work and stay consistent and understand that you bring something that nobody else brings to the table. Don't worry about what the person to the left or the right of you are doing. Worry about your own lane and understand that you are enough. You deserve more. That's it.
Yeah. Amen. Preach. Preach. I love it. Where can people find you?
They can find me on my IG page at Carm Hawk Gets Fit. And that's pretty much where I operate, because I'm juggling a lot of different things, so I try to just keep it very simple. I do have a Facebook page. I try to keep it mainly women, no offense men, but I try to keep it a safe space for the ladies. The link is in my bio if any of you ladies want to join. I did start a little boot camp that's going to be closing doors pretty soon. It's conducted completely through the First Form app. It's only $12.99 a month for the subscription, but we run down the basics of nutrition, where I'm going to teach people how to log, track, weigh, measure. That's what my girls are doing right now. And then we're going to learn how to analyze the macros. I'm going to teach them how to attack hitting their macros, how to attack starting to implement steps, sleep, water, the basics, right? The boring stuff.
And how to avoid
But
macro Tetris and how to end
basically,
macro Tetris. But
yeah.
that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. I love it. And anybody that listens to this in the future, please like, comment, share this, follow her. She's incredible. Reach out. She will respond. That's what she did to me when I reached out to her when she followed me. So like, comment, share, ask either one of us any questions. I cannot wait to see you in 2 days. And all I need from you after this is when you walk up to me, you better be wearing something sleeveless, flex your tricep all up on me, and then
Flex.
just walk off without saying a word. And don't even say nothing. Just
just give you a little shot.
and then this.
You got it. I was going to give you a
That's
tap
it.
and be like, bat, bat.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll see you in 2 days, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.